It's a device for breaking mental habits. Just go down that road you've never been before and see what happens.
This deck of cards was made by musician Brian Eno and artist Peter Schmidt to stay alert and break out of familiar patterns. Eno started making notes for himself when recording with Roxy music to make sure that stress doesn't stifle creativity. And when he realized Schmidt was doing a similar thing, they decided to create Oblique Strategies.
And it really came about because I noticed that in pressure situations, and recording in recording studios 50 years ago was a pressure situation because they were so expensive and I didn't have any money. In a pressure situation, you tend to fall back on the old solutions because you don't want to take the risk of going down a road that doesn't pay off at all. And then you get stuck because you're not excited by the road you're going down. And you know, excitement is the fuel of all art. Enthusiasm is the fuel of all art, really. If you're not enthusiastic, then you're not doing it right. You've got to find some way of becoming enthusiastic again.
Each card presents a creative prompt meant to challenge you in the middle of working. When drawing from the deck, one finds phrases like, emphasize differences, just carry on, try faking it, and more allegorical ones like, how would you have done it? They were first published in 1975 and have been used by chefs, artists, and musicians alike. A famous example is when Eno and David Bowie drew from the deck whilst recording Heroes in Berlin in 1977. These days, contemporary bands like Coldplay and MGMT said to have used them as well, and celebrity chef Ian Nauer and poet Simon Armitage take to their liking.
How do you remain in the creative state? Now, the creative state, I think the most important combination of feelings is alertness and enthusiasm. Sometimes those two together are called obsession, I think.
The desire to stay alert and enthusiastic seems universal, and Eno says the most unexpected people have been known to use the cards.
I was at a dinner party once and I was sitting next to a man and he said, "Oh, you're the guy who did those Oblique Strategies, aren't you?" And I said, yes, that's right. And he said, "Oh, I use them a lot in my work." I said, "Oh, good. What do you do?" And he said, "I'm a neurosurgeon."
Eno did tell the neurosurgeon to perhaps stop using them, but scientists seem to take to their liking. Neuroscientist Baldur Onnerheim believes creativity is a universal skill that can be learned, and that thinking differently has an advantage even in prehistoric context. The caveman who found a way to distract the lion rather than run has outsmarted the others. He says that the genius of these cards is that they introduce an element of randomness to break the mold, and Eno believes that breaking that mold really is the role of art.
If art is one of the ways that we sort of cultivate our field of feelings, we practice imagining, we practice thinking about how other worlds could be, how other people could be, how other minds could be, how other lands could be. You know, if that's where we do that, then it's a pretty important thing. It's one of the primary ways we understand the world.
A strong advocate for sustainable living, Eno thinks art can help us imagine a different way of life.
We need a new civilizational idea, a sort of eco-civilization. And I hope this is what artists can help prepare us for, because it can give us feelings about that possibility. And when we have those kinds of feelings, I think what we're thinking is, I like the kind of world that this belongs to.